This is Cymru, the land of the Red Dragon, the land, too, of poetry and song, which the English on the other side of our border call Wales. It is an ancient land of many mountains and hundreds of rivers flowing downward and outward towards the sea. The Wye, the Severn, the Rheidol, the Usk, and all the lesser streams that carve our green valleys as they go. The sea surrounds us on three sides. Lying west of England and south of Scotland, Wales is a country on its own. We have preserved our history and our language. We are the Cymru, the comrades, the Welsh people. Come, stranger, and invade this mountain fortress, whose royal emblem is the Red Dragon. Know its counties by name, for they are historic. Flint, Denbigh, Anglesey, Carnarvon and Merioneth in the north, Montgomery, Cardigan, Radnor and Brecon in the center, Pembroke, Carmarthen, Glamorgan and Monmouth in the south. At Festiniog we find a miniature railway, just right for the traffic of a miniature state. Here you will find the butcher, the baker, as well as the holiday maker. But this tiny railway is mainly for fun. The comfortable, well-fed visitor can speed through the Welsh mountains and valleys in modern trains if he so wishes. The past is never very far away in Wales, and the time scale is curiously telescoped. A railway built 60 years ago and megalithic monuments too old to date at all. Hundreds of these ancient stones and mounds sprout from the land, as much part of the landscape as the trees, and far, far older. Find them in the fields where the sheep graze, and mildly wonder. Feel the warm stone where rougher, tougher hands than yours hewed, heaved, and hauled them over 5,000 years ago to this center of the old, old religion. Wales is a country where you can move slowly and quietly. So walk or ride here where century is layered on century. Ride over the hills from Dinas Mawddwy, where once the red-headed brigands waited to raid the passers-by. Walk in Caerleon, where the Roman legions kept vigil behind their walls and earthworks for nearly 300 years at the start of the Christian era. Watch the sun on the sea from the farthest corners of Wales, where the chieftains hid from the Romans in their stone, round hut villages. Climb into the dark ages with Cadwallon, king of Gwynedd, and follow his standard across North Wales with the emblem of the Red Dragon, still on our flags today. Remember, too, King Arthur, as you wander across the country once called Gwlad Hyd a Lledrith, the land of mystery and magic, where his knights hunted the wild boar. Cross the River Wye at Chepstow. Here the Norman soldiers of William the Conqueror, having defeated the English in 1066, entered Wales and built their first castle. They say that from this coast, Madoc ap Owain Gwynedd sailed to America 300 years before Columbus. And here Llywelyn reigned. Eryr Erarod Eryri, he was called, Eagle of the Eagles of Snowdonia. This mighty Welsh prince was defeated by Edward I of England, who conquered most of Wales. Here at Caernarvon Castle, the king promised the Welsh a prince of their own who could speak no English, and presented them with his baby son, who became the first English Prince of Wales. See the rest of the great chain of castles built by Edward to protect his hard-won lands. Rhuddlan, where the king set up his naval headquarters in the 13th century. Beaumaris, An architectural masterpiece with its concentric circles. Walls within walls within walls. And Conway, the strangest castle of them all. Here under the towering walls of Conway, we find a curiosity of engineering history. For the same river crossing guarded by the castle attracted the first railway engineers, and now the 13th century bastion and Telford's 150-year-old masterpiece in iron blend with massive harmony in contrast with the delicate web of the same designer's bridge over the Menai Straits. Here is metal of a different kind. Talk of kings and queens and precious gold. For gold has been mined here at Bont-Rhy for centuries. The wedding rings of both Queen Elizabeth and Princess Margaret are made of Welsh gold from Bont-Rhy. Gold for royalty and slate for the commoner. This train once carried slate for the roofs of the homes of the Welsh miners and for the iron and steel works of the valleys. Here in the beautiful green Vale of Festiniog, the finest blue-grey slate was quarried. But now it is the visitors who use the train to see the small world of Wales. Pause for a moment on your journey, where this peaceful man reaps his golden harvest. For here, Owen Glendower fought Henry IV, capturing castle after castle from the English. Here flew the standard of Henry Tudor, and to it rode the men of Wales, answering the trumpets of a prince of Welshmen. They rode beside him to the field of Bosworth, to the death of Richard III, and to the accession of Henry Tudor to the English throne. Battle cries ring down the ages, for rugby football is a game dear to the heart of every Welshman. At first England, Ireland and Scotland, but now the whole world comes to Wales, to the great stadium at Cardiff, our capital city.